Thank you for staying with us right here on Good Morning Namibia. Now, the holiday season is in full swing and Christmas is next week, which means the roads are getting more and more congested as holidaymakers continue to travel to their various destinations. Law enforcement agencies and road safety campaigners maintain that there is no reason for complacency during this time. With more on road safety tips, we are now joined virtually by Horst Heimstadt, Chief Executive Officer of the Private Sector Road Safety Forum. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, ma'am, and thank you for having me.
Mr. Heimstadt, it is festive season, holiday traffic is increasing nationwide. What are some of the biggest risks that you are seeing on Namibia's major routes right now?
People taking chances, people misbehaving. And when I say people, it is the minority which is really misbehaving. If you think yourself, you're driving from Windhoek to Swakop, you might meet on the road 1,000 vehicles. There is maybe 5-10 vehicles which are not behaving appropriately. These are the 5 or 10 vehicles which are causing the problems for everybody else. So you remember those 5 vehicles. You don't remember the other 990 vehicles.
And many Namibians have suggested adding driving education to the school curriculum. From your perspective, would early road safety training make for meaningful long-term impact when it comes to these minorities that continue to trouble us on the roads?
Definitely, there's no doubt in my mind about it. The earlier we start educating the people on the behavior of the road, on the culture of our road behavior, the better for all of us. Children really influence their parents. So if you teach a child at school, put your seatbelt on, the child will go into the car and will tell the parents to put the seatbelt on. So if the parents can't do their job in telling the child to do it, so let us get the children to tell the parents.
And that starts with teaching them early on.
Exactly.
Well, we do have policies in place when it comes to road and transport use. How effective do you think our current road and transport policies are in preventing accidents?
Unfortunately, not very effective. We have got policies, many policies in place, but they are dormant. They're not being really implemented. So we need to relook at the policies, how many there are, what is there, and how we're going to implement these policies so that people can understand what's really going on.
These policies are put in place for public protection, but do you believe that the public fully understands what these policies require of them when it comes to road and transport use?
No, I don't really think so. There is, as educators, we have a job to do there. However, we also need to have a firm commitment from everybody around of the implementation of these policies.
And statistics have shown time and time again that every festive season we see an increase in the number of road accidents. What makes this period particularly dangerous compared to the rest of the year?
I would like to just start by saying that statistics over the festive season, yes, they increase because we have got increase in vehicles, we've got more people on the road, it's this funny season, silly season where people just do silly things. They drive from Windhoek to Oshakati as fast as possible to go and watch their favorite TV program or something like that, not thinking that they're actually putting themselves in danger. However, we are losing every day on our roads just under 2 people. This is not being talked of throughout the year. These 2 people, we only hear if there is a bus or a minibus or something, an accident, crash where there's more than one person, more than 5 people which have died in there or are injured in there. We hear that. We don't talk about the 480 which have died up to now this year. We don't talk about them. So that is very, very adamant about that. We need to start talking about these people which die every day on average on our roads. That's the people we need to start talking about. This is equivalent to about 2 aeroplanes which fell If we look at the number of people which died, and if we had two aeroplanes falling down in Namibia on our soils here, it would be a big story. Road crashes are not that much of a big story because we live with it. We believe that that's part of our life. It shouldn't be. It can be prevented.
Earlier on, you mentioned that there's a need for us to take another look at our policies when it comes to road and transport. Which gaps do you think requires the most urgent review when it comes to Namibia's existing policies?
Our Honourable Minister has started talking about defensive driving for paid drivers. Anybody which drives for a reward should have a defensive driving training. That policy really should have been implemented many years ago. The demerit system on our licenses, we are talking about, we are fining people for licenses. We don't do spot fines like other countries do. We write out a ticket, we write it out and court order or invitation to appear in court, and then if you accept, and you can pay the ticket before the time. So these things we need to look at, and we need to say to ourselves, the demerit system is definitely going to work. If you've got a warning on your driver's license, now I'm going to lose my driver's license. Now I'm not going to drive again. That's when people start realizing, but hey, I've got a problem. I cannot drive a car anymore. Now I've got a problem.
Public awareness campaigns run every year when it comes to road safety, particularly during the festive season. Yet, risky driving continues and remains to be a problem on our major roads. In your view, Mr. Heimstadt, are awareness efforts enough, or should enforcement such as stricter fines play a bigger role?
Like I said, with the enforcement of stricter fines, yes, they do work, but people which want to not adhere to the law are going to do that whether they pay $1,000 or $10,000, maybe less than $10,000, but they're still going to do it. If you take their license away after a certain amount of fines, yes, they will adhere to it. The public education, I would say there is not one person in Namibia which does not know you shouldn't be drinking and driving. Yet they all go out and they drink and drive. So it is the culture, it's the behavior of our drivers where the problem is lying. The same with speed. Most probably about 70% of all our crashes, we can relate it, especially on the open roads, we can relate it back to speed, which was used. Yet people still speed. Our roads are designed to drive 120 on the road, not 160 and 180. So this is where the problem is coming from. I can handle it, I can do it, and I must attack the younger people here because the egos, and especially the younger men, I can handle it, I can do it, it's not a problem, I'm in control of the car, you're not. And never forget, there is somebody else on the other side of that, whether that somebody else is being involved in the crash and getting injured, or whether that somebody else is doing something wrong. We all do something wrong when we drive. There is none of us which does not do anything wrong. We all do something wrong.
Before I let you go, Mr. Heimstadt, you raised a very interesting point, which is to say that perhaps it's a deeply rooted cultural issue. What cultural or behavioral patterns do you think contribute to the continued disregard for road rules among drivers, and what do you think can be done to change that attitude?
That question is very difficult to answer. If we sit in Windhoek at a traffic light and we watch the number of people which drive over the traffic light while the traffic light is still red. Now, I'm not sure why people actually want to commit suicide, because that's really what they're doing. And in the process, they're taking other people with them. Because it normally ends up 2 cars, 3 cars involved in a crash where people get injured, innocent people get injured. why would you want to spend that, not even a minute extra, to get faster over the traffic light, to injure yourself, to put your life at risk? It's a big question to me. Yes, we need to change that culture. We need to start looking at ourselves and start saying to ourselves, road safety is a shared responsibility. There is no traffic law enforcer. There is no government. There is no other authority which can make you stop behaving on the road the way you are. It is you. It is entirely onto you. A little issue which I certainly always address is the children sitting on the back seat between the two seats.
Yes.
Loose, not in a seatbelt, nothing. Why do you want to kill that child? You do not know when that crash is going to happen. If that crash happens, the child has got no option. It will fly through the windscreen. So why do you want to do that?
Yeah, no, thank you so
Sure
much.
there's nobody, I'm sure there's nobody in Namibia which has a child which wants to actually put the child in the middle to kill the child. But we still do it.
Yes. Thank you so much for those very, very valuable insights this morning and for your time to share these imperative insights in regards to festive season road safety.
It's a great pleasure, and thank you for having me.